Hey everyone, it's Dr. Clark and welcome to week 3 of the course. Can you believe it? It's week 3. So those of you across the Midwest, right? We've got about 0 temperatures today, so make sure you stay warm. So just updating you on week 3 and the progress that we've made thus far. So you've taken a quiz, you've jumped on, you've done a first discussion board, some learning curves along the way, right? So important things we've learned thus far in following directions, right? When we upload, make sure we're uploading it a PDF versus a JPEG. On our quizzes, we've got to use Respondus Monitor. We need to plan ahead for the next week, make sure that we're trying to get through the quiz early enough. So if we have technology problems, we have enough time then to go back and request additional assistance or, troubleshoot that technology issue. So for this week, we're going to look at discussion board number 2, which is simply jumping in and doing an essay. The biggest thing and some of the questions that I've been receiving is, well, do I have to have my Writing Center, appointment done this week? No. The whole point is to put your rough draft up this week and then to make your appointment with the Writing Center. Because what you're going to do is take the rough draft that you created this week, have that appointment with the Writing Center, and then for the next discussion board 3, that's when you're going to put your revised copy up there. So we do this exercise for a few reasons. One, I want you to understand that the Writing and Math Center is absolutely free to every single student, no matter if you're face-to-face on campus or if you're via distance online. And I want you to look at writing in general, plagiarism, and how to use APA formatting, because moving forward in other courses, it's going to be instrumental that your writing skills improve each class. So something else to talk about a little bit is, we talk about plagiarism in this tutorial and the next week. But I want you to understand that, simply ensuring that you're giving credit to somebody's work is what's most important, right? There is a difference between a direct quote and a paraphrase. And as you move further and further to becoming a stronger writer, you're going to rely more heavily on paraphrasing than you are ever direct quoting. And a good general rule of thumb is no more than 1 direct quote per page for a large paper. Again, paraphrasing makes for much stronger writing. Something else that I always like to discuss with students too is that as you move from course to course, or if you have 2 courses at one time, it's really important that you understand that you can't self-plagiarize. Each course at ISU, each paper, each discussion board is an independent submission of anything else. So that means you can't recycle papers. You can't just change the title on a paper and submit it as your own for another course. And you can't reuse things in other courses. Even though it's your work, remember, each attempt at every course has to be independent of itself. And that goes for, let's say, if you fail a class and you're repeating a course, you just can't go back and reuse the same material. You have to make an independent attempt and recreate that work for the assignments. So a lot of people, they struggle with that. Again, it's called self-plagiarizing, but we always talk about that and the importance of not doing it. So again, when in doubt, cite. Make sure you're using good in-text citations. Make sure that you're putting those references down on the reference page and referring to them. And again, this course, it's a learning curve. We're gonna talk about it these next couple of weeks so that way you have a foundation moving forward in your next class. So other than that, everyone's doing great. I'm working on putting up the updated clinical information, because in week 5, that's when you're going to submit your clinical requests for the fall. So all of you will be moving into 1 clinical course for the fall, most likely. Nursing 338, which is mental health, does not require you to have a site or a preceptor because that experience is 100% simulated. But if you're moving into Nursing 324 for the fall, you're going to need to start thinking about where you want to go. Do you have connections already with a site or a facility? Most of you may work in a hospital setting, and a lot of your employers will help you find a unit that you can work on. However, some of you may not be within a hospital setting, and that is going to be a barrier as we try to find you a clinical spot. So be looking for the end of the week. I'll be sending an announcement out so you guys can start looking at the procedure and process on how to request those sites in week 5. But again, I want you to start thinking about, where am I going to be looking for, if you're in 324, where is a medical surgical unit in a hospital setting that you can be doing your clinical rotation at? You're going to need to be getting contact information for those individuals so we can request those spots for you. Other than that, everyone's doing a great job. Your grades should be updated. And I hope everyone's enjoying themselves thus far. Stay warm or stay cool, depending on where you're located. And have a great week.